Okay, good afternoon. In this video, we're going to be talking about Kanye West. So I know everybody saw Kanye West. It's been trending. Everybody's been talking about it, making commentary. Now, Kanye West is online, basically going back and forth with Puff Daddy and Lil Boosie. But the other day, Kanye West and Candace Owens, I think they were somewhere in Paris. They was at some fashion show or something like that. And they decided to wear White Lives Matter t-shirts. So you know that upset the black community. All of these pro-blacks and all of these people that support Black Lives Matter came out against it, calling Kanye crazy, saying that it's not a good look for the black community and he needs to take his medicine. He's sick. And so Kanye West got to do an interview with Tucker Carlson from Fox News. So they sat down, did an interview. I watched a little bit of it, but to be quite honest with you, I'm not a fan of Kanye West at all. So I don't really care about what he's talking about. I think he's a nutcase. And I also believe that he's really colorist and stuff like that. And he's not a victim, pretty much. He got in a relationship with Kim Kardashian and got married to her. They had 4 biracial children. He knew all about their family. He knows how that family get down. So he still wanted to be a part of that family. A lot of people want to blame Kim for Kanye losing his mind and, talking crazy. They think that the Kardashians did something to him, and I'm pretty sure they used him. He helped build their brand up. They already had their own brand, but we already know Kim, her mother, and her sisters, Chloe. A lot of them, they get with black males and they have these biracial children with them. But a lot of them kind of use these black men to, build them up, make them real popular to the black community, make them go viral, trending a lot. We already know that Kim, she stole a lot of her ideas from black women and, just like how she did the whole thing with the cornrows, trying to rename it, trying to rebrand it. So we already know they use black culture to elevate themselves. Kim, her sisters, even her mother. Now her mother is with the black male, I believe, if they're still together. But I don't keep up with that family because I think a little bit they're a little crazy, money hungry, and they'll do anything to remain famous, to be in the limelight. And I think that's what's going on with Kanye West also. Him and Candace Owens, you know what? Candace Owens, she used to be a Democrat. Now she's a Republican and whatnot. She's married to a wealthy, intelligent white guy from, I think, the UK. And I believe that's where they live at. But, Candace Owens, at this point, I'm thinking that a little bit of some of the things that she do is odd. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with everything she does, everything she says. They still support Donald Trump. I believe that Kanye West says he still support Donald Trump, and the black community is attacking him and everybody hates him, and they basically said that they wore those White Lives Matter t-shirts to say that they are against racism. But you know what? I don't understand why it takes Kanye West and Candace Owens to do that. Because black people are going to do whatever they want to do. You already know that. So they're going to attack them. Black Twitter is going to go after them. They're going to try to cancel them. You already know that. But Kanye West is pretty much really rich. I think he's a billionaire. And so I don't think he really cares what they do to him, what they say about him. He's weird. That's all I can say about it. He's weird. I don't even see how anybody finds him attractive because he's like weird. A real crazy personality and whatnot. But me being an independent, a conservative independent, I do believe that, when it's time to vote, we do need a conservative president back in there because the Democrats are running them up. and they're not doing anything. Joe Biden is a failure. In my opinion, Kamala Harris is a failure. She became the vice president, and they label her pretty much as like the first black, woman as a vice president or whatnot. Even though she's biracial, I believe she's Jamaican and Indian. But what have Kamala Harris done for black women? I mean, she's pretty much been silent. I haven't really seen her too much. They really haven't made too much happen. Now they'll say, well, we got the whole thing done with the student loans. And, they'll say that they did the stimulus check, but Donald Trump started the stimulus check and then Joe Biden took it over. But, look at the gas prices, look at the food prices, look at the violence that's going on in this country, the justice system. We got a problem with the justice system. They need to redo the whole thing. Because, I mean, it's getting crazy. Like, these criminals, they can commit crime after crime after crime. And a lot of these criminals are black men, violent black males. And they commit these crimes over and over again, and they get to come back out on the street. So, I just think that Candace Owens and Kanye West, I don't really know what they were trying to do. It just seemed a little weird for me. Like, white people, they can defend themselves. They can speak up for themselves. There are a lot of them in this country. They pretty much run the government. So white people can speak up for themselves. I don't think they need Kanye West and Candace Owens to do that. And we already know that Black Lives Matter was pretty much a scam. They scammed people out of millions and millions of dollars. The only time they wanted to come out and protect or speak up for anybody, most of the time it was a black male criminal. Somebody that committed a crime, somebody that didn't follow the commands of the police, did not listen, and, broke the law, and they end up losing their lives. You know what I'm saying? Some of the cases were justified, and some of the cases may not have been justified. But, whenever you get stopped by the police, follow the commands, follow the law. Try to make sure you got all your stuff together. That way, if you do get pulled over or something like that, you won't be upset because you don't have anything to hide. Usually people that have a problem with the police talking to them or pulling them over or stuff like that are people that are usually guilty. Now, I know you don't want to be harassed and you don't want to be aggravated by the law enforcement and just picked on. But most people that don't have anything to hide, they don't really care. Like, I don't have a problem with, talking to police officers. I don't care if they pull me over because I don't have nothing to hide. My record is good. So if you pull me over, I'm just like, I might be a little bit upset if you give me a ticket, but I haven't had a ticket in such a long time. A long, long time since I've had a traffic ticket. So, I wouldn't be upset about it. But let's talk about politics, because we got the midterm elections coming up. And so, me and my man has been talking about it. We've been talking about, who they're going to put up there to run, the next president election. And would it be a good idea if Donald Trump ran again? And I just don't think at this point, with everything that's happened with politics and the Republican Party and Donald Trump and, with these crazy liberal Democrats, with everything that's going on where, you remember when they just bum rushed the state capitol and Donald Trump got in trouble for that. They raided Donald Trump's house a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago or whatnot. They didn't find anything. So they've been harassing Donald Trump. It's going to be really hard for Donald Trump to run again. I just think it's going to be really hard. I believe that we need a conservative president, whether it be an independent or a Republican, because I'm not a Republican either. The Republicans, they got their issues also. They're not really loyal to each other. They'll throw each other under the bus. And we saw that with Donald Trump. So you really can't really trust the Republicans or the Democrats, in my opinion. That's just in my opinion, because I'm an independent. But we do need a conservative. We do need somebody that's going to be about, the rule of law, about protecting the borders and, you know, putting more money in the citizens' pockets, like dropping down these gas prices. We have the whole thing, Joe Biden did the whole thing with the student loans. Even though some people are not really happy because they're not going to get all their student loan paid off. You understand what I'm saying? I think you can only get up to about $10,000 or $20,000 of student loan debt forgiveness. And some people have student loan debt like $50,000, $80,000. Some people got $100,000 in student loan debt. That is just too much to be in debt with. Some people have still not paid off their student loan debt. It's been over decades. You know what I'm saying? At least over a decade. I know some people that still haven't paid it all the way off. You know what I'm saying? And then they've had a hard time finding, jobs and stuff like that paid very well, even with their degrees. Usually the best field to go in would be like a STEM field or a medical field. They always have work. Traveling nurses and stuff, there's always something to do. Welding and stuff like that. It's best to get into a career or a job or a trade that will always need you. It will always need you. You will always have work. So there will always be a demand for your skills. You understand what I'm saying? So you will always get paid very well and you will always get work. But some of these degrees that people get when they go to college is pretty much useless. And that's why some of these people have to pay all the student loan debt. I understand that they may feel a type of way about it. I get it. But for the people that didn't have too much student loan debt like me, like I'm glad mine's got paid off. You know what I'm saying? I was paying on mine's, but it wasn't as big as everybody else's. But I totally understand why you may be upset about that. But at least, you can get $10,000, $20,000 taken off of your student loan, debt, and you may be left with a balance. But it's better than nothing, in my opinion. But it's still not good enough because a lot of people were expecting them to wipe the whole thing out. You know what I'm saying? To wipe the whole thing out because it's messed up a lot of people's credit, having that student loan debt on there. And then you're getting, you're accumulating interest also on the student loan debt if you don't pay it, quickly. So we were having conversations about it. There should be a conservative running to be the next president, but a lot of people are saying that the governor in Florida would be a good person to run or somebody else. But I don't really know who to pick out of the Republican Party besides Donald Trump. But I just don't think Donald Trump is going to be able to get in there. It's too much things that's happened, too much damage that's went on. A lot of things have been broken up. People don't feel the same way that they used to. So I just don't think he'll be able to get in there. But I don't think it'll be Joe Biden because, he's useless. And him and Kamala Harris. You know what I'm saying? A lot of black women were out here supporting Kamala Harris, being that she was a biracial woman. And, that's amazing that a biracial woman had got the opportunity to be the first, female vice president in the United States. She's very fortunate to have that. She'll go down in the history books, but she hasn't really done anything. And I think it just was a wasted vote for black women and black people in general. But, black people in general are going to keep voting for the Democrats. That's just what they're going to do. Regardless of how much you try to tell them, do not vote against your own self. Black people will do that, and they will come out and do that in droves, especially black women. These borders need to be secure. We got a little bit too much. The other day, I heard, and I saw on Twitter, I believe it was, that there was a case going on with DACA and the Supreme Court, I think in Texas, which they said was full of Republicans. But they voted against DACA. They voted that DACA was illegal. So now you have a lot of people trying to speak up for the DACA people out of the Democrat Party. But black people, I don't really see you getting anything in return for your vote. You never get anything for your vote. The Democrats are just leading us to hell, pretty much. But Kanye West and Candace Owens, like that White Lives Matter thing, that wouldn't be something I would do. I wouldn't wear a White Lives Matter t-shirt or a Black Lives Matter t-shirt because I'm not the spokesperson for the black community or the white community. So I'm not going to be going out there trying to, go to war and go up against people for, a group of race of people. White people can speak for themselves, White men can speak for themselves. And that's something that black people, especially black men, need to learn, that white men can speak for themselves. And a lot of things that other races of men are into and what they like are not the same as what, black people or black men are into. And so you got a lot of these black males upset. Kanye West is out here exposing messages from P. Diddy of them telling him he's embarrassing everybody. He's doing a lot of damage to the black community. But Black Lives Matter did a lot of damage to this country and to the black community. Because the only time they cared about black people is when they died at the hands of police officers. Or if they thought it was a racist white person, then yeah, they would want to get out here and chase ambulance like Benjamin. I forgot his name. Benjamin Crump? Yeah, Benjamin Crump. The ambulance chaser. So, that's what Black Lives Matter was really about. They scam white people, black people, all races of people out of money. I'm talking about millions of dollars. And then they went out here and just lived these luxury lives and getting these mansions and these expensive cars and, clothes and all these different things. And now it's been coming out that Black Lives Matter is a scam. Those black women that were the leaders of the Black Lives Matter and collecting all these monies, they were scams. I believe those women were a part of the LGBT community. Those black women that were the founders of Black Lives Matter. And the Democrats, they were behind the Black Lives Matter too. And now everybody acting like they don't really want to talk about it. If you notice, the Democrat Party is not really talking about Black Lives Matter anymore. And because they realized it was all a scam. They scammed a lot of these billion-dollar companies out of millions and millions of dollars in support of black people or these black male criminals in Black Lives Matter. And it was all a scam. It was all a scam. So, what else I was going to talk about? I'm going to speak a little bit on that Nia Long situation. Let me tell you something. With Nia Long and Tia Mowry, the twins, sister. You got Tamara and you got Tia. Tia was married to the black guy. Tamara is married to the white guy that used to be on Fox News. That's a conservative Republican that a lot of black people don't really care for. They're always online dragging her husband, dragging Tia and her family and stuff like that. Not Tia, Tamara. Always dragging Tamara and her white husband. They're always dragging her about being with that man. And that's sad. That's really sad. But the whole thing with Tia, the other twin, she was with the black guy. So she got with a black guy. Pretty much he was broke when she met him. He was a struggling actor or whatever. They met on an independent movie set or whatever. But anyway, one day her and her sister was driving or whatnot, and they saw him standing on the side of the road at a bus stop in a really bad neighborhood, crime-infested neighborhood. He didn't have a car. He had a raggedy-ass apartment. He didn't have anything. He didn't have money. He didn't own anything. So pretty much they picked him up off the street, and Tia took him in. And so they've been together well over 14 years. They've been married 14 years. They've been together almost, I think it was 22 years total. And so now they're getting divorced after 2 children. And I believe their youngest child is 4 years old. But I'm not surprised. I don't know what happened with that situation. He probably was cheating, or he probably wanted to start dating out. Probably came across a non-black woman he wanted to entertain. Because they said he started doing a new movie or a new sitcom or something like that. Television series or whatnot. And after he got that job, he started acting really strange with her. Not really interested in, what was going on with Tia. But he was probably cheating. They probably grew apart. Or, he wanted to move on. And so I don't really get into that because I don't know the background of what made them break up. But a lot of black women were in love with this relationship. I would see it all the time on social media. Black women in the black community supported Tia more than they supported Tamara. They drugged Tamara. Especially when Donald Trump was the president, they would drag Tamara really, really bad. They would drag her husband. I can't think of his name right now. They would drag him too all the time. They would make comments about him being mayo and mayonnaise. It was something about he would want mayonnaise on a sandwich and they blew that out of proportion. Y'all know how black men in the black community do. They tend to blow things out of proportion at times. And so that's what's going on. But I wish Tia all the best. Tamara needs to concentrate and do whatever she, needs to do to make sure she's happy with herself and happy with her marriage. And I wish her well. I wish her well. But black women got to pretty much, understand women in general taking care of these men, trying to build them, trying to fix them, trying to build them up. And a lot of times when it comes to the black community, once black women have built these men up, once they get on and they start making money and they get their name out there and they got, different projects and different things that they got going on, and other women are looking at them, they're like, hey, I'm out of here. I can go get something else. And a lot of times when, black men go to get something else, usually it's a non-black woman when they have money. So they take their money to the non-black community, to the woman, whoever they date. And that's how a lot of the, money is moving out of the black community. So, Nia Long, that situation, I would just move on from that man. You've been with that man for a long time. Y'all not married. Y'all been engaged for quite a while now and have not got married yet. I'm pretty sure you probably knew or already saw some red signs. I'm talking about Nia Long, warning signs. I know she sees some red flags. And so I'm pretty sure she's not really shocked that he cheated on her. And apparently he cheated on her with a white woman. And her husband works for is a part of the basketball team or something like that. Or I think they at a college. I think he's a coach at a college. Nia Long's fiance or whatever. And I believe he's a black male that got lineage from outside of America. I don't know his background. I really haven't dug in the story. All I know is he cheated on her with a white woman. A white woman that, looked like she's real older in the face or whatnot. Apparently, the white woman was married and they were sleeping around with each other behind her husband's back and Nia Long's back. She needs to get out of that relationship. She has to be embarrassed. I mean, let me tell you what people don't understand. When you get cheated on, it's like being emotionally abused. You know what I'm saying? Or mentally abused. Because when you're cheated on, there's a lot of emotions going on. There's a lot of betrayal. You're also, like a laughing stock. Everybody's pretty much laughing at you, talking about your personal life like it's a joke or making jokes about it. So you're embarrassed. It takes a lot out of you when you're in a relationship and you've been committed to somebody and you haven't cheated, but they've cheated on you. So it's like a form of emotional abuse. So I don't know why. I hope she's not trying to stay with that man. It's absolutely disgusting what he's done to her. She's a beautiful woman. Nia Long has always been a beautiful black woman. Ever since the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, she needs to drop him. Don't even give him a second chance and move on with her life. Because there's nothing you can do with that. That man is out here pretty much chasing a preference, chasing a damn white woman. And I wouldn't stay with him with that. So that's embarrassing. A lot of women need to understand, like, when a man cheats, it's time to go. It's best to not even give him a second chance. The trust is gone. You're not going to look at him the same. You're not going to really trust him like that. You're going to always be really suspicious about what he's doing, his activities when he's out and about and you're not around. So it would be best just to let that go. Anybody who cheats on you just really doesn't have any respect for you. And especially if they have been exposed and have gotten out to other people, they definitely don't care. You know, some people, they care a little bit. They'll try their best to hide it as best as possible as they can. But he was exposed. Nia Long's fiance, he was exposed by I think somebody on the team, one of the players on the team exposed him because he was just creeping around with this woman. This woman was absolutely disgraceful. She knew he was in a relationship with Nia Long. She knew it. And so she probably did it out of spite or did it because she wanted to do it and thought it was like some type of adventure. But on the behalf of, black women who support Nia Long and have supported her career all through the years, I would tell her to move on and get out. Leave it alone. Don't even ask any questions. Don't even care. He's embarrassed you. Everything's been exposed. There's no way you can go back to that. Plus, he's not your husband. You guys have been together for years, haven't gotten married, so you're able to just walk away. You don't owe him any money. You ain't got no prenup. You ain't got no license, marriage license. So you don't got to worry about him trying to take anything from you. Now, in the situation with Mowry, the whole situation with her is that they did have a prenup. But he may try to get some money out of her, but both of them, I don't think they make money like that. So I don't know why they would be coming after her money. I heard that they're not going to try to come after her money. They're just going to go like in a mutual split from each other. They did have a prenup, but hey, she's been with this man for 22 years. That's a long time to be with somebody to separate. It is what it is. She went and filed for divorce, so I'm pretty sure there was something that he did that caused her to go file for divorce, or they were just living a separate life. A lot of people be married and they living in different homes, or they sleeping in different bedrooms. They're just together for the kids, or they're just together to look like they got it together. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to embarrass each other pretty much. But on those topics, that's all I got to talk about. And I'll find something else to talk about later. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, please. Leave a comment, share on your social media accounts if you feel like it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye now.